Chapter 1 Al-Istantla, The Creation, Tablet 2, verse 11 to 16, are kept as opposed to Sijin, where the Azirit records of all disagreeable acts are kept to make a new home in the Orion star constellation. The disagreeable ones made their homes in Betelgeuse, Rigel, and Bellatrix. The cycles. The first cycle was a dot in the universe. Then that dot became a line. The line became a wall. The wall became a square. The first dot split like a daughter cell into two. The second dot forms the circle by completing one cycle around to itself. None knows save itself where the circle begins and ends. Then it began to spin to form an orb, and thus 360 degrees of square and 360 degrees of circle. The circle was turned inside out and placed within the confines of the square. This was accomplished by first dividing the circle into four parts. Geometry was created and dimensions were formed. Geo equals key and metry equals measure. The square that you know on this plane is not the same as its counterpart in the spiritual plane and the plane of force. These planes are not perceived by the ordinary human eye. The energy which was confined in the square tried to escape. It pushed upwards, outwards, and downward. This constant friction generated heat to the degree that the square could no longer withstand, and an explosion of enormous force occurred. This event had not yet been manifested on the physical plane as the birth of the universe, the formation of stars, galaxies, and planets on the physical side. When energy beings manifest, atoms, they make up atoms. Which then become compounds and elements, as opposed to physical beings, atoms, who manifest and make up cells, which becomes organisms and bodies. When the Anunnaki Aluhum of 360 degrees split into two beings of 180 degrees each, meaning the disagreeable of is on the outside of the male child is agreeable, meaning the disagreeable is on the outside if the male child is agreeable. The female twin counterpart is disagreeable if the male is agreeable. The male twin or counterpart is disagreeable. The one must conquer the other to become agreeable or to become a child of light. Imperfection. That was clicked on in the darkness of perfection. In this way was the disagreeable being created, calling them twins. Every person born was a twin. One defeated the other, and that is how each of you were born. This is called the concept of survival of fittest. The concept of survival of the fittest begins from the very moment sperm is ejaculated into the vaginal canal. Each of the 777,777,777 sperm cells are ejaculated and races to the ovum or egg of the female to fertilize it. And only one of the 777,777,777 sperm cells survives the journey, beating out all the other sperm cells in a normal birth. Normally, conception occurs when one egg released from a woman's ovary is fertilized by one male sperm. 7 out of 10 pairs of twins result from the woman releasing 2 eggs, which are then fertilized quite independently by 2 sperms. Fraternal twins. Usually, the 2 eggs then implant and develop separately in the uterus. Less commonly, 1 egg fertilized by 1 sperm divides, resulting in 2 developing babies with